Okay. I want you all to go back on my community wall post. Julie Melvin Croth, aka Robin Boudreau, talking about the other Discord, Facebook groups, refused to give out the content creators. Just remember, I've got all these groups, the members, the conversations, the full conversations, every single group. I've got those documented, screenshot, recorded. So ones like Rick and Shelley Collins, the three groups, the one she runs, the other two she belongs to, she names. I just showed 15 pictures of many, that's going to come out in the next couple series of videos. One's dropping later tonight with a live. I'm taking the gloves off and I'm proving that cases, investigations where my handler, Michael Curtis, with the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force, if he would have acted in Karina McClurkin's case, the suspects that were involved in her case, the same criminal network that is ties and connections shown back to if they looked when they cared to look, when it became badges, lives being taken by criminal networks. Oh, they've seen ties and connections down to Pickett's and Robert Pitts, the same criminal network. But the same criminal network joining Facebook groups of like Delphi, claiming they're there for justice, but getting information back to Elvis Fields, among others, like convicted child molesters, Clayton Sawyer, or James Sawyer Jr. out of Monticello, was working where? Look at Liberty Germans. Where did she work? Where did Linda's grandson, the child molesting and rapist, was working at when he raped a fellow employee that came forward? And I've got that. You didn't know I had that, Linda, did you? He raped somebody out the Indiana, the Indiana State Beach. Same ones that employed Liberty German. She put on her page, I'll work at Indiana Beach. It's the same Indiana Beach where Linda Garlick's grandson, a rapist and child molester for years, worked out himself and got another charge, raped somebody else, a fellow employee, while he was employed with Indiana Beach. Imagine that. But unlike these other content creators, there's lives at stake. That's why I've not done and I've not gave them everything they cried, they begged, they came after me, they belittled me. I'm mentally unwell, I'm unfit, blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to him. They tried silencing me, trying to keep people coming from my page, going to their pages, their friends' pages. Well, shit's about to blow up on both the pro-state and the pro-defense side, left and right. These private groups, the Discord pages, the private conversations, the federal witness in federal tampering. And yes, there's 2 and multiple agents now. I pissed them off when I looked. I was like, look, 4 badges. Robert Pitts, Carl Kuntz, Deputy Carl Kuntz, Deputy Pickett, Greg Ferenczi. All 4 of their killers. Goes back to the same criminal network that goes around over 80 missing and murdered cases around Indiana in all areas of operation, be it Fort Wayne, Allen County Prosecutor's Office, where you've got prosecuting staff, elected officials there in even Allen County, going back in friends with ones in and around that go back to Brad Holder, among many others, Tony Slocum. And these are people that are sitting in my FBI BAFI informant files for years before Delphi was ever a thing. The same files that had the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force there in Delphi. That agent, Michael Curtis, that is the same agent when Indiana State Police and Kokomo Police Department in Howard County was trying to come after me with them holding information from ISP. KPD, Howard County prosecutors was trying to hold charges against me for withholding information on a missing and murdered case. While I was under order by my agent, Michael Curtis, to only talk to him, and my phone is Mike Bryce, and FBI only. Don Whitehead, the investigative prosecutor, y'all about to shit when the investigative prosecutor, Don Whitehead, had to confirm I was still in 2018 an FBI informant with the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force with the FBI Indianapolis Field Office. And I was only let go as an FBI informant when I had to go to local agencies, and I knew with him saying, go to local agencies, go talk to KPD and the locals on Karina and any other case I brought up to him, it was involving suspects, just like the suspects, the militia members, the group members, the training, the surveillance, the investigation they were already on in Delphi, on Ron Logan's property, around his property, on the surveillance, the audio and video, the in-person FBI surveillance for days from February 10th through February 12th and ongoing, when the agent, Michael Curtis, the first FBI agent involved with Delphi, was my handler. It was my intel on Brad Holder and his piece of shit militia group training at Ron Logan's property. Why do you think they went after him? Why did they think they had enough on him and other suspects? But that locals, the elected officials, where their family and friends are money laundering, up to even elected officials, judges, there's a senator, more than one, with lo and behold, drug dealers, like 2018, other rates. City Council of Delphi, 2016, 2017, not hard to find who they are. Dealers like Brett Sandifer, the Sandifers, Derek, his dealing partners, all these dealers friends with these elected officials, the assessing companies that were money laundering for the cartel, making tons of money of assessing properties, inflating their values, and then working with the county assessors like Nita Duff, her son Dylan, William Duff, good friends with Derek, just like Linda, her dealers over in Frankfurt, knowing intel on how the girls were killed, and going into these Facebook groups saying, oh, I'm here for justice. I'm here for these kids' victims' justice. Wait till I get out the truth. What they were there, who they were there for, and what they were getting information back. Look at the 15 pages on my community wall post right now. Shit's about to get deep, and I'm opening a can of fucking whoop ass. I've had dealers, their family, and friends threats to take my life if I keep talking. When Jenny Kroom is telling me, go ahead, Oh, the motorcycle club members that her and her family knows. If I say anything about Brittany Moose Holder, her family, dealing the friendships they had with Gabe Ellis and others for years, if I let any of that be known, let it be shown, but then, oh, I'm talking bad about Galen. Uh, One of her witnesses ended up murdering a man that took his last breath, a black man that Jennifer Barnes, Dean, helped murder, took his last breath less than 1,000 feet, the same side of the road, just houses down from the Flora 4 Delphi girls. Black girls that lost their life. 4 years later, a man took his last breath 1,000 feet away from those little girls, the same side of the road, just a few houses down. By yet, individuals that go back and around this drug community, this drug ring, and the individual that got paid only $20 out of 120 robbery that she supplied the weapon for. How much did he get paid to start a fire that killed 4 girls? When all it took was $20 to supply her roommates the murder weapon to help dispose of the weapons, the evidence, and hide the murders of another black individual's death. Five deaths within 4 years, and the same suspects each and every time. The criminal network they go back to, but nothing to see here. How about the Pearson murder out over in Kokomo? My own fucking family are in and around that drug ring, keeping silent on a drive-by murder, and then kept silent, and they know more when it comes to missing murdered cases that their friends go back and around. Oh, I'm opening a can of worms. Unlike the fucking Delphi and other families, I'll tell you, I have some of my own family right there in Kokomo that dealt in and around. They used for years, still do. Just like Boone County. The distant side of the family. The adopted dad side of the family. Look up the Ferrises. Ferris. Dilling and trap houses in Lebanon and Boone County over the years, including Teddy Ferris Jr. and his son Austin, which is best friends, and was praising and said he would do the same thing. And I've got messages where his dealing partner, Anthony, shot Deputy Pickett. I tried bringing up to Boone County prosecutor. I'll take the stand on my own little cousin, dealing partner, with Anthony, the one that killed your deputy, saying if he had the chance, he'd do the same fucking thing and kill even more. He refused to go after him, but then after his and his dad's dealing, yet another Ferris dealing over there in Lebanon and Boone County, over the years, that family's long-time ties with that drug ring goes back years. I know a hell of a lot more about this drug ring than they ever thought I did. For years. Christy Ferris, Teddy Ferris Jr., Teddy Ferris Sr. Look up the drug raids throughout the family all these years. Chrissy K, the other names. How about all the drug houses? I can name each and every single one and show you the locations of each and every single drug house. I can name you names up there in Kokomo. Diller family of mine. Dillers. So when it comes to talking to feds and telling feds where to even go talk to my own family on missing murder cases, but yet some of these families choose their family, their last name, their Oh, we got to keep this image. We got to keep this image. We got all these news camera and we got all these opportunities ahead of us. Like, we got to keep the drugs and we got to keep the dealing and the family history. Like Michaela Babcock, her place and her being rated a drug felon, facing charges of dealing out of her house, the same house that they went publicly nationwide. Uh, if there's any um, reporters, state or national, that are listening to this, how about you have them pull up Michaela Babcock, the Babcock family, dealing, longtime friendships, getting supplied, being friends with Gabriel Ellis, Dustin Prater, Tyler French, Elijah Cook. And they are saying that practicing Odinist had nothing to do with Delphi, but are shown around Karina McClurkin, Jeremy Patterson, openly praising Tyr, their gods, their Norse and pagan mindset. Hell, they're even kindred. The book they used during the Delphi murders. Kyle Stacy even showed you what book to look, down to the ceremonial sword that was covered in blood on page 116 out of the Book of Troth. Telling everybody, look, we're parading around the murder weapons. We're telling you how we did it, what rituals we did, what book we use to make the kindred, laughing about the sons of Odin, which is in the Book of Troth, the killers and warriors of that kindred. The Tyrs, Tyrs, hellhounds, Norse and pagan kindred that even Brad and Amber was recruiting for. 2018, February 11th, 2018, yet again, reliving and recruiting for the Tyrs hellhounds, Norse and pagan kindred. And you wonder why they're laughing when everybody keeps saying sons of Odin. How about you actually sit? Yes, the sons of Odin was asked, but the Tyrs hellhounds, the Norse and pagan kindred, and names that belong to it, and militia members that were practicing Odinist, IDOC members that were practicing Odinist, and militia members that are sitting friends with even 2025 arrested cartel dealers right there in Kokomo yet again. And you wonder why Miami Correctional Facility, IDOC, has such a bad problem with corruption and people getting murdered and killed at IDOC. I wonder why, when you have 2025 dealers being arrested and you've got rank and file from captains, hell, you've got sitting wardens on down, longtime friends with multiple dealers, including 2025 dealers that were just arrested in Kokomo, sitting with IDOC employees and their family for years. Longtime family friends of theirs before they ever get arrested and get housed in their IDOC facilities, where every single one of these employees, a lot of them, live locally, like they're in Kokomo, Delphi, Muncie, and work at IDOC, Indiana Part of Corrections, and sitting with dealers from 2018, the cartel drug raids, up to now. You've got dealers sitting friends with IDOC employees from rank and file. And not just that, but you got elected officials, politicians that have career backgrounds, being funneled money by this cartel, and kingpins and real estate moguls that have built their enterprise up, piggybacking, money laundering, and getting paid by the cartel to look the opposite way. Well, when you have own daughters of Brad Rossi, his family, cousins, aunts, uncles, going back dealers, friends, family, own dealers on his own side of the family, just like Nick McClellan, Blaine McClellan, dealing partners with Derek Sherman, 2014. Derek only got possession. Blaine McClellan got dealing. What Brad doesn't want you to see, it's why he and the locals can't afford federal takeover and that drug ring to be acted on, because the ties and connections that go back to the Good Old Boys Club, like Brad Rossi and his local Good Old Boys Club members, friends of his, and you wondered why they didn't want to hit the corruption and the drug ring. Why? I wonder. Well, the Fed sure as hell seen it. The federal committee's sure as hell seen it. What you wanted to protect and hide this drug ring from your own family and friends involvement, it's no longer just a drug ring. It's a cartel, criminal, terrorist organization. Anybody, politicians, local law enforcement in and around this drug ring, making money, getting paid to look the other way, you're giving aid and you're giving protections to a terrorist organization and the terrorists within it. And yes, missing and murdered cases, when politicians are being paid off, their campaigns are being funneled and fueled with cartel money just to get certain individuals in certain seats, state and local on up. Yeah, I was able to show Trump's team up to Pence, like Jamie Noel, one that Pence invited himself to the inauguration, sitting good close friends with a Jim Buck mayor. All you had to do is look close, and like I said, over the years, all these dealers, look back at the Howard County, Carroll County commissioners, the council members, the other elected officials, all voted in. Look at all the dealers they're friends with, their own family, and why this drug ring is being refused to being hit more than one missing and murdered case. Hell, the defense team, one member, him and his own family's longtime ties, just like fucking, I'll give a certain initial, SR, MR, daughters, adult daughters. When some of their own friends go back friends with Brad Holder, among other names, and I should trust Brad Rossi and the Good Old Boys Club, his friends locally, right there in Logansport, Delphi, the area, with everything that goes in back into my files, that goes back to their family friends, and how their own family dealing and involved with this drug ring, trust them with everything I have and everything I know. There's a reason they didn't go after the drug rings, and you're raising hell wondering why. It's back to the friends. Just like Brad Holder, his friends are sitting, some of your own daughter's friends, your own aunt, uncle, your other family members, the dealers in your family, you know, that are there. You know, go back in around that drug ring. There's a damn good reason why state and locals, more than one, state and defense, more than one case, refuse to hit the ring they're involved with, they're making money off of. And hell, it's at times millions. All you have to do is look at the real estate, property and tax sales, the nonprofits, the 501c3 nonprofits, tax exemption, it's able to flow millions through certain organizations. And you wonder why certain families got certain organizations, 501c nonprofits, and allowing motorcycle clubs to have, like Milwaukee Iron. There's a ranking member right now that I've got information from a sitting fellow member with inside Milwaukee Iron MC, a ranking board member is dating an underage girlfriend as we speak. AK, the nickname Cowboy, let it be out with pictures and evidence and proof and video and audio where the club knowingly knows this, patched this girl, gave her a vest, a nickname. When the wife isn't there, the girlfriend is just like the wife, a welcome patched member of Milwaukee Iron. You've got Milwaukee Iron, dirt dealers, the ones that are involved in missing and murder cases right there in their own case, their own presidents. The former president's daughter, Destiny Pittman, there's former members of Milwaukee Iron saying they know exactly who did it, giving out names, and they wanted to take care of it in-house. The motorcycle clubs that are having a lot of the fucking money and guns and trafficking, including up to humans and children, is being done with these motorcycle clubs and their clubhouses and their 501c nonprofit tax exemption. You look up Sin City, 1% motorcycle club. Every motorcycle club, Kokomo and surrounding areas, all have a 501c3 tax exemption that the locals and state have been helping them get and keep for years. It helps when their own patched members, family, are law enforcement, just like one was a hang-around. His brother was a patched member of Mobile Ground Shakers that ended up holding not one, but two people hostage, and you've got him in multiple pictures over at Mobile Ground Shakers with Milwaukee Iron members right there having a good old time, especially with Danny DeMolin, the strip club owner, Indianapolis, Lafayette, and Indianapolis and Kokomo, strip club owner, doing sex trafficking, pay to play, and many of his strippers, including Jamie Beasley, Mariah Coy, that have stripped in his strip clubs, have gone missing and found dead. Goes back to whose club? Many times they were last known leaving his club. Many of his strippers over the years gone missing and murdered. But the Good Old Boy Club that he feeds, like Judge Fouts and others, where did Judge Fouts with Shank, Kathy Shank, Nicholas McClellan? They're all best of friends. But what Judge Fouts end up doing? I wonder.